All right. Hi, guys. So this is a video to help you with um, Unit 5, Lesson 3, which is called Changing Elevation. This video is for 1 through 4, and then I will make a video for 5 through 8. So this is in case you missed it in class or you want a video that you can rewatch and learn at your own pace. So you'll click on the link. The first one says 3.1 Warm Up. That's the opposite. Draw arrows on the number line to represent these situations. So first thing you're going to notice is the number line does not have numbers. So you're going to have to fill in the numbers. You can choose how you want to number it, but you probably want to be strategic with the numbers you choose. Because if I go by ones, I'm not going to have enough to get to 5 and -5. So an idea we had in class was to go by fives. So 5, 10, 15. So I can choose what number I want to go by. So as long as I keep the same number, so going by fives. And so on the opposite side of +5 is -5. So if I go 5 to the right, then this is 5 to the left. So -5, this would be -10, and then this would be -15. So you want to get comfortable writing your own number line because they won't always give you one. You might have to make one. So notice that these number lines are mirrored. If 5's here, -5 is here. If 10 is 2 spaces to the right, -10 is 2 spaces to the left. So they are a perfect pattern. All right, it says the temperature was -5. So we always start at 0, and we're going to move to -5. So we're going to move left 5. So that's my first arrow. And then it says then, so I'm going to start where I left off, the temperature rose 5 degrees. That's telling me that it's +5. So I'm going to start where I left off, and I'm going to move to the right 5. So back up 5, and I stop at 0. So my answer is 0. Feel free to pause and rewind if you need to. All right, the second one, it says a climber was 30 feet above sea level. So I'm going to start with 0 again. And again, I'm going to be strategic. I need to get to 30. So I'm going to go by tens. So 10, 20, 30. And then this side will be perfectly opposite. So if this is 10, this is -10. If this is 20, this is -20. And if the third line is 30, then the third line is -30. So they're perfectly mirrored. Let me pick a color. Let's do purple again. A climber was 30 feet above sea level. Above, so sea level is 0. 30 feet above means +30. So I'm going to start at 0, which is sea level, and I'm going to move 30 to the right because it's positive. All right. Then she descends 30 feet. Descends tells me going down or negative. So I'm going to start where I left off, and I'm going to go down 10, 20, 30. And I end up back at 0. So it's good to notice, you can pause if you want. It's good to notice that -5 plus +5 is 0. +30 plus -30 is 0. So it looks like adding the opposite number gets me to 0, which makes sense because if I go up 2 and then down 2, I'm back at 0. If I go to the left 20 and then to the right 20, I'm back at 0. So adding opposites, they have to be the same number, but opposite sign adds to 0 always. So feel free to pause if you need to. Number 2, it says that's the opposite. What's the opposite? So you have A, B, and C. You have 3 different statements. So what is the opposite of running 150 feet east? So if I run 150 feet east, opposite would be running the opposite direction, which is west. So you would fill in west. For B, the opposite of jumping down 10 steps would be jumping up 10 steps. And then for C, the opposite of pouring 8 gallons into a fish tank would be taking it out or draining it or some kind of, if you put water in, you have to take it out. You want to do the same amount. So notice I did not change the numbers. If I go right 150, I have to go left 150. If I go down 10, I have to go up 10. So you're just changing the situation to the opposite. So you're filling the blanks. So hopefully by now you guys know that everything has an opposite. Right has left, up has down, short has tall, light has dark. For number 3, it says a mountaineer is climbing on a cliff. She is 200 feet above the ground. So she's here. The ground is 0. She's 200 feet, so she's up here above the ground. If she climbs up, that's going to be a positive change. If she climbs down, that's going to be a negative change. So up is going to be adding a positive. Down is going to be adding a negative. So hopefully you understand that. Up is adding positive. Down is adding a negative. Complete the table. So she's at 200. And if these don't make sense to you in your head, look at the picture. So starting at plus 300, so positive, sorry, not 300. Starting at positive 200, up 75. So I'm going up 75. So I'm going to be bigger. I'm going to add them. I'm getting bigger. So add them together. You'll put your answer here. If I start at 200 and I go down 75, so I'm getting smaller. So take it away. So negative 75, it's like subtracting. Start at 200 and I go down 200. So I'm no longer on the cliff. I'm back here at 0. And then if I start at 200, do I go up or down to get to 25? So this one, I would look at the picture. If I start at 200, obviously I'm going to have to go down to get to 25. How far down would I have to go? So you'll have a number and then down. So 200, I'd have to go down 175 feet. So I'm going to put 175 down. All right, so these are pretty much just adding and taking away. Number 2, it says write an addition equation for the second row in your table. So here's the second row. So this is one row. This is the second row. Addition equation. So first number plus the second number. Well, the first number is positive. It's an addition equation, so I'm going to put plus, no spaces. Second number is down 75. So that means down is negative. So this is plus negative 75, no spaces. All right, and then you can put equals the answer if you want. You can also leave it like this and click submit. So you should see this message that says excellent. So yes, it's like 200 take away 75. So yes, it's like this, but we want to get practice knowing that subtracting a number, a positive number, is the same as adding the negative. So those are the same thing. You're going to need to know that you can switch between those two different ways of writing it. All right, number 4 was the last one we did today. It's very similar to the last one, but now you're in a, if you're under, you're in the cave. And if you're up, you're on the cliff. So here's the cave. If I go down, it's going to be a negative number. If I go up, it's going to be adding a positive number. So this is all about adding. Starting elevation, this time we're starting at negative 200. So I'm down here at negative 200. I'm in the cave. I'm in the cave. If I go down further into the cave, if I go 150 more down, I'm going to be further in the cave. So this negative number should be bigger than 200. So it should be negative, and it should be bigger than 200. So I'm at 200 in the cave. I'm going down 150. So I'm further in the cave. So that would be 350. So 200 going down 150 would be at 350 in the cave. Negative 200 and I go up 100. Well, I'm still in the cave, so I'm still at negative something. If I'm negative 200 in the cave and then I go up 200, well, I'm back here at the start, so I'm back at 0. And then if I'm at negative 200 and I go up 250, well, this is 50 more than the last one. So if this was back on the ground at 0, this would be 50 more. And then if I'm at negative 200 and eventually I'm going to get to negative 500, I'm going to have to go down further into the cave. If I'm at negative 200 and I'm getting to negative 500, I'm going down further. How much further do I need to go from 200 to 500? I need to go 300 more down into the cave. So go ahead and finish these 3 answers. Really think about them. If I'm at negative 200 and I'm going down or up, I'm really just adding or taking away a number. If you want to use the little number line over here to think of it, you can. All these self-checks work. So negative 200, I'm going up 100. Negative 200, I'm going up 200. I'd be back at 0. Negative 200, I go up 250. I pass 0 by 50, so I'd be back here at 50. So you're going to put your answers here. The self-check does work. That's where we're going to stop. Don't turn it in yet. We're going to finish the rest tomorrow and have a great rest of your day.